Welcome to the Jason Cheney podcast. We're here today sitting with Miss D, owner of Naturally Devine Products. You see all these ads about getting rich quick. You're going to hear this story, how she built hers from the ground up. There's nothing quick about this, but there is success in this. So I hope you take the time, listen, and enjoy. D, how you doing today?
Great. How are you, Jason?
I'm good. I'm good, man. It's for good to finally get to sit down with you and kind of talk, man. I've known you for a while, and I've watched your business grow. In the beginning, I think I we actually used a product on my daughter, and that was back when you was selling products out of your house, and you've grown into a storefront business, man. First of all, I want to say I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
It's been an amazing journey. So I read your bio to get prepared for an interview today, and you stated in your bio that you began mixing hair and beauty products at what age?
I was very young, probably 10, maybe
Mm. Well,
around 10.
okay, so at 10 years old, like, can you kind of go into like what drawed you into wanting to mix ingredients for beauty and hair?
Um,
Or,
because it was like anything that my mother purchased just didn't work. Like let's say if she purchased some lotion or something and I use the lotion and then I'm ashy like 30 minutes later. So that kind of piqued my interest in, okay, well, maybe if I mix this lotion and oil, maybe that'll work better. So it was kind of things like that. And like I said in my bio, like my sister had bad acne and she could never get rid of it, like never. So she was like 30 something already because I think I was 28. I was in my 20s and she was in her early 30s when I actually formulated the charcoal soap,
mm,
and that's what she used, and
so
it like immediately got rid of it.
so how did that work? Like, hey, I mixed some stuff. Let me slap this on your face.
I've always done it. Like I can't even go back to how far it was or how young I was actually when I started mixing stuff up, because I would have a container in the bathroom and my mom would be like, "What is this you mixed, D? Like what you done mixed up now?" And I wouldn't know because I
It
already
works. It
yeah,
works. I promise.
like I'm using it on my skin and stuff like that. So I would just like randomly mix stuff together, just out of pure interest. And so when I made it for my sister, I think I just texted her and was like, "I made you something for your face," and she was like, "Okay." So yeah, and
And
that's
it worked.
yeah,
So
and it worked. It
as
worked.
all right. So I mean, just like I said, I have the pleasure of knowing you for a little bit longer than our audience, but I mean, it doesn't take anybody long to be around you to realize that you have you have a mentality for business. I feel like you're a natural born leader. Like I said, I've watched you grow this. Um, you began whipping up formulas at such an early age. Um, was there any experiences in the corporate world that maybe you took from that side of it to apply to running this business?
Yeah, I took a lot of stuff from corporate, and I feel like along this journey, and I don't want to get holy and spiritual and all that kind of stuff because I know how people feel. Everybody has their different beliefs, but my belief, to me, I feel like all of those jobs that I worked in corporate, like accounting, bookkeeping, payroll, and just stuff like that, played a huge part in my success because I got all of that background knowledge of business, and then I just incorporated into my own business. And so, yeah, and I feel like I was specifically assigned those positions for this moment.
I mean, I can see that, and another thing I read in your bio was you said you went on a quest to heal your mind, body, and spirit through what was it, herbalistic
Hmm.
ways, right?
Yeah.
Um, what would you say would be a major factor in what sent you on that journey?
Just the issues that I was having. I suffer from PCOS, and that's polycystic ovarian syndrome. So it's a female issue. So I went on a journey and I'm like, okay, how can I fix myself? So it started from there, and I noticed that that also played a major part in the hair issues that I was having, the skin issues, and all of that. And so it was just like, okay, let's start here. So I changed my diet. I got into herbs. I started researching different herbs and their purposes and things like that. And it just kind of snowballed into what it is today.
Oh, that's so now I noticed another word in your bio was, or two words actually. It was herbalistic and holistic. Can you explain the differences in the two?
There's really no difference in the two. Like the holistic approach means treating the whole body. Like doctors tend to only treat symptoms. So a doctor or a practitioner of any kind that takes a holistic approach, they treat the mind, body, and spirit. So
Gotcha.
that's basically what holistic means. And herbalism is just herbalism, just
Natural.
dealing with herbs.
Right.
Yeah, like dealing with herbal formulations. And
Gotcha. I follow your page on Facebook as well, and you always see comments and people that have used your products, and they's like, hey, this is such a blessing, to have these products in my life. It's done this for. I mean, I have literally witnessed myself, people, using it for things you're healing of. For example, like some of the uses I would have never even thought. Like I just use it on our daughter's hair, and so when you described in your bio of this formula coming to you like a gift, right? Um, tell me like kind of what that was like, and then what was it like to see it take effect and start changing people's lives?
to be honest, I cannot even remember. Like it's so foggy because I don't feel like it was me. And it's
Right.
not, I know it sounds crazy, but I just woke up one day and I just took all of the research and the knowledge that I already knew or had learned previously from just my research, and I just put it all together, and it all came together like a book, like a perfect formulation. And it was like, okay, I'm going to use this. So I started using it, and like my hair just grew like crazy. I had never seen or experienced anything like that ever before. And just like your daughter told me earlier, like it works like it's supposed to work.
Right. And so
Yeah.
and so just to be clear, when you came up with this, you tried it on yourself
I used it myself
first, right?
because it was for me. It was
Right.
still during the time where I'm trying to heal my body, I'm trying to heal my hair, I'm trying to get my hormones in balance and stuff like that. So yeah. Mhm.
And when you started, I'm assuming you might have let a few people try it first, and then it kind of grew.
Oh, afterwards?
Right. Yeah.
See, I think I used it myself 2 years before I released it to the public because I was working at Webster Rogers as an accountant, and Bethany Ford sat next to me in the cubicle next to me, and she was having an outbreak on her face,
Mhm.
and she was just complaining about it. She was like, "I hate my face looking like this." So I was like, "You know what? I'll make some soap for my sister." Saying this to myself, I was like, "I'm gonna bring her some soap tomorrow,"
Right.
or maybe I told her, but either way, the next day I brought her some soap. She went home. She used that charcoal soap, and she came back the next day, and she was like, "What you put in there?" She was like, "And why didn't you? Why you ain't been told me about this? You heard me complaining about my skin this whole time." And I was like, "You know what? I really didn't think about it because it was for my sister,
Right.
and it was like this little ball I had left, like just this little corner of the pot." And I was like, I'm gonna give this to Bethany. So I let her try it, and that's what happened. And she was like, "You know what? You should sell this." And I was like, "You?" She was like, "Yeah." She said, "You know how many people have skin problems?"
Right. Yeah.
And so that was like 2017. And then, yeah, I started letting people sample stuff.
And so that's something that you experienced for yourself, and I'm sure the young lady that you let use it, who had that experience for herself. So what's it like, when you tell that story, to like when you put it out there for the public, and then obviously it's a story like that. It's kind of like one of those. It's too good to be true, right?
Right.
And so naturally, the internet doing what the internet does. Um, how, I mean, like, is it a thought process that goes like, I'm sorry you don't believe me, but this is really
Kinda. At first, it was very frustrating to me, for people to be so skeptical and doubtful. But then I had to realize, like, look, you're doing something that nobody has ever done. Nobody has ever seen this. Nobody has ever experienced a product actually doing what it's supposed to do instantaneously. So I just had to realize, like, they don't understand. And so then my angle became, you won't believe it until you try it for yourself. So
and like I've been into to beauty supply stores with my daughter. I mean, I'm bald headed, so I don't need hair supplies, but I've taken her in, right? And um, how do like the market is flooded with oils um and perms and soaps, and so I mean, I could probably like, and all of them say like this will work in 3 days, and not I know not from my I'm not going to name the brands, but I know a good majority of the ones we tried before using your products. um it was just a sales grab. That's all it was. It was great marketing, great labeling, and that was it. Like one,
that's what she said. She said all of the ones we tried before yours didn't do what it was supposed to do.
not at all.
Um, yeah, it's oversaturated, and you want to ask me how does mine stand
That's what
apart
I
from?
was about to ask you is how, you know, is that the approach? I mean, is that the approach you take to showing that your product works? Like, just if you would try it, because at the price point that you sell it at, it's still cheaper than
Some other things on the
that some
market.
other
Yeah,
brands, but yet I still people see, like this big bottles, like, and you're paying the same price for a drop. I've seen her pay. We bought stuff for my daughter that comes in a dropper size bottle, and it's so is that like you just present it like, hey, try it? Is that
that's basically all I do because I've never been a salesperson. Like even when I worked in sales, like my first job was in sales at Sears in the lawn and garden department. So I've never been a hey buy for me person.
right?
I'm like if you want it and you want better for yourself, you'll try it.
Right. And speaking of the market being saturated, I mean, like I said, if somebody just takes the time to read your bio, I mean, it's obvious that you love the earth, you're very spiritual. Um, how important was it to you to create a product that was, all natural? Like your product is 100% natural.
Yeah, it was very important because the hair and skin industry is so polluted with toxic chemicals, and that's a part of the problem. That's why my hormones were imbalanced. That's why people are having skin issues and hair issues. Like it's from the products and it's from the foods and stuff that we're eating. Like everything is so heavily polluted with chemicals. It's disgusting.
Yeah, and which I know when my daughter used to use perm on her hair. I mean, I guess that would explain that. That's why your scalp's burning, is because it has chemicals in it.
Scalps burn.
It
And not only is it burning, it's damaging those layers. And I can't talk too badly on them because I still use them because I've always used them. But I know the damage that it's doing.
right.
I'm not in the dark about what I'm doing to myself. And a lot of people are just in the dark. It's damaging.
But once you get your body and your hair trained to using these all natural products, I mean, it would be probably just like getting on a regimen of using like perms and
Yeah, and I mean you want to be consistent, especially if you want to fix whatever the issue is. Like you want to stay consistent on a consistent regimen. And your body, just like on the website we talk about a healing crisis, the same way you did damage to your body to break it down, the products are going to let it finish breaking down, if that makes sense, and then build it back up.
right,
So it can take some people, not everybody experiences a healing crisis, but it can, like if somebody has hair loss and you're already losing hair, it's going to get rid of the sick hair and the sick skin or whatever is going to fix itself and then new healthy hair will grow. So everything is a process.
right. Now, my next question is, how many comments and reviews do you get on your products? And they like, oh, this shit don't work, but they don't follow the directions because your directions are very clear,
Mhm.
and it takes consistency because it's a regimen, like you said, that you have to
Yeah,
follow.
and that's the
So is like how often do you have to deal with that?
that honestly had a lot of that, and I can say that because I can remember each situation. So, it's not like, oh, a million people are doing it and not doing it right and then complaining about it. We've probably had about six people, um, that want to write reviews and say, oh, it didn't work. And I'm like, okay, well, how much of the bottle do you have left? And it's a whole bottle. You didn't use it.
Mhm.
Like, how is it going to work if you didn't use it?
Yeah,
Your bottle's still full.
that's right. And and so like your soaps and everything, do they work on the same principle? Like let's just I'm a male, so let's just for me I'm gonna say Irish Spring, right? You can smell it's not 100% soap. Like
Hmm.
that's why it has that wake up in the morning aroma to it. That the commercial they cut
Hmm.
um. So your other products, skincare, like if you use your soap, same thing
Exact
consistently,
same consistency. Yep. And it heals the skin because it has the same properties in it. I didn't put the oil in it, but it's like the same components that build the oil, build the soaps.
right?
If that makes sense.
And listen, I was like I think the most recent one that I can remember that I saw was now like again, this is just me being dumb about your product because I only use it on hair up to this point. And I seen the lady was like, "Hey, the other day I had a toothache, and so I put some healing oil on a cotton swab, and I rubbed it on my toothache gone." Now I'm going to tell you, 3 weeks after I read that, I had a toothache myself, and I was like, I was really debating on whether or not to put this shit in my mouth. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, I listen. I put this on hair, but I read this, and I tried it, and legit 30 minutes max. It was, and it hasn't. I know it hasn't removed the cavity, but or whatever it was hurt, but I know I haven't had a problem with it since, and I just think that's wild. Like I seen people say they put it in their toothpaste as
Yeah.
well.
I put it in my toothpaste.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mix it in the toothpaste in a like a little pump thing. People use it for toothaches. You can drop it in your eye, ears,
tell,
delicate parts.
let's go through your products. I wanna make sure that the people watching this know exactly how many products do you offer
I
right
think it's about 22.
now? About 22.
Yeah.
All right, give us a rundown of your products.
Okay, we have gummy vitamins for hair and skin. We have mineral sunscreen, natural deodorant, lymphatic cleanses, silica, which supports blood pressure, bone, joint, hair, skin, and sleep. We have a heavy metal detox. These are just supplements. Candida cleanse, whole food multivitamin, healing ointment, which is our solid form of our healing oil. We have body washes, lotions, aloe vera gel for styling. We have nail and cuticle oil. We have eyebrow, eyelash, skin soaps, turmeric, which deals with lightening and hyperpigmentation. And our medicated and our combo bars are our biggest skin sellers. We have Yanni soaps and suppositories, and of course, our healing oil and other things for skin. I don't know. It's probably more than 22
It
things.
sounded
It's a
like it,
lot. It's a lot.
and all of them work just as
Yep.
good as the healing oil.
Yep. And like our brand has expanded so much since 2020 when we got here.
Yeah, and listen, to be clear, like this works on all texture of hairs, whether
Hair, all skin.
uh,
Safe for
so
kids, safe for babies from birth. Yep.
safe for everybody, for everybody. So this is not just like this is not a black product, a white product, a Hispanic product. It works for everyone. I've used it on my on. I could never touch. I'm 40 years old, and my mustache has never touched my goatee, and I finally I do sneak in. I do sneak and steal some of my daughters, and I have, and I've got my beard is starting to connect. So I mean, I know it works for me, and like I said, man, the products is great, and
I just had a white lady whose son had ringworm in his hair, in his head, in the top of his head, and it would not go away. She was so frustrated. It was bald and just irritated.
You put healing oil in the
Yeah,
ringworm.
she put healing oil on the ringworm, and his hair has grown back. She said she was battling with this for over a year with her son,
And how
back and
long?
forth from the doctors to the dermatologist, and then 4 days his hair was growing back.
Right. So I know, like,
4 days with the healing oil, guys.
right, right. And so like, we're in her office doing this interview, and I know you guys are like, I'm trying to find this formula, bro. I'm literally like, I'm Mr. Krabs in it. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
But
it's not Mr. Krabs.
it's right.
What is
Oh yeah, plankton,
plankton?
plankton. I'm trying to, because I say, and I make a joke about it because I can't get over the amount of people like that I see like, hey, it looks like you have really nice products. Hey, can you just shoot?
Send
Can
me
you
your
just shoot your
recipe.
recipe over and I'll make my own? Like,
Send
no,
me
this is
formulation.
right. Yeah, this is a business, man, and that's kind of what I wanted to get into, just a little bit. Like nobody, it's kind of like how you build it, and we this internet age, everyone's selling something,
Mm.
right? I mean, you see some of the top influencers. Hey, I'm gonna sell you this course. You can come hang out with me for a week, and I'm gonna teach you. How important is consistency to actually building something that's going to bring you wealth in?
Consistency is so important. And I'm gonna tell you because I do offer consultations.
That's right.
So I'm gonna tell you this free of charge for anybody that wants to start a business or is interested in starting a business. Your consistency is going to be the main thing that drives your success. So you can't, like, when I quit my job as an accountant and decided to take this on full time, once I got my feet on the ground and got into it, you can't miss a day. It's just like a job. Like, I went from working 8 hours a day to working 16 hours a day, in my own business, but it's for me. You know what I'm saying? I have a staff and everything to support. So I have to work like 10 times harder because now it's not just me
Right.
building
That's
revenue
right.
for me. I have other people that rely on me too. So you have to stay consistent. Like, it's so important. You cannot miss a day. If you need to set a specific time as your work schedule, just like you would on the job, you need a consistent work schedule.
And listen, I'm not going to ask you what your gross was last year, but I will ask you this, and this should give everyone a good idea of how well you planned your business. How many days was your doors closed during COVID?
Um, did we close long during COVID? I don't even remember closing.
I don't think you did. That's
Yeah.
why I asked, because I don't remember you closing. And like, I don't even remember you cutting your hours back. Really, I think it might have got slow there for a little while, and instead of closing the doors, you were offering deals on your product.
Yeah, and I think we might have been closed for maybe a week or two because we caught COVID,
Mhm.
and um, and then we came in and we kept it closed to the public, but we worked and shipped orders.
Yeah,
So yeah, COVID was actually our busiest time.
yeah.
And
And
it's a funny story because when they did the PPP, when everybody was doing the PPP loans, I'm like, okay, well, let me see. Let me see if I can get a PPP. They were like, ma'am, your sales increased during COVID. Why are you here?
right, exactly. And,
Like, oh, I didn't know I had to like have a deal. I thought this was just some money y'all was giving out.
right,
Yeah.
and you like, and I just like I said, I said all that to say, like, I remember when you used to post pictures from your house, and from your front door, literally all the way through your living room,
Yeah.
was boxes and oils, and so that's where all this started. So you went from that to, in a time that we're talking multi-million dollar businesses were having to do layoffs, close their doors, cut back on everything. You That was your busiest time.
That's my busiest
and
time.
and, I'm trying to emphasize that because, again, me personally, I worry about, like, my kids are 18, 17, and 13, and just like I said at the beginning of this attention span thing, there is no quick formula to this. So how long from bottling, producing, and shipping products in your home to storefront would you think that it took you?
Let me see. 2019. Let's see, I think we moved in that townhouse in August of 2019. By December 2019, I had boxes almost up to the ceiling. And so it was just still me, grinding this stuff out, packaging, shipping. Um, and let's say 2020, by February, I knew I couldn't do it by myself anymore.
Right.
So then I brought my cousin in around that time, and he's been our shipping manager ever since. So it was just me and him. I'm making and putting boxes together, bottling, and he's, typing up the shipping address and stuff like that. And then by June, I was like, okay, I can't do it in the house anymore.
Mm.
So it went from just me to me and one employee to me knowing that I can't do it in the house anymore. So I'm like,
Right.
I got to get a place. So we were in here November 2020. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were in the storefront November 2020. And then I was like, y'all, it's literally going to take about 8 people to do what I do. So they're in the
Was it easy?
back. Huh?
Was it how easy was it?
To get this?
No, I'm talking about to create your business.
Um,
Hard,
I think it
easy.
was easy for me because I had already had business experience.
Mm.
But somebody that's brand new to business, it would be hard because there are people who will try to get over on you. So you really need to know like the business side, like how to read contracts and things like that. So
Yeah, y'all see, I'm trying to pull this free consultation out for y'all to help
do.
you out. But no, I get tired. Like people always talk about $1 million. $1 million today is not. I'm 42. I know when I was in high school, $1 million was a lot of money, and now $1 million is kind of like what 100,000.
100,000. That's all it is. That's all $1 million is. I promise you.
Yeah,
Like
and
in today's economy.
right, and so and everything that I've noticed targeted from these like influencers, TikToks, and social media stuff is like I said a while ago. It's all targeted toward hey, this only takes 6 months, and that's why I wanted you to go through your story. Like I mean, we just went over a 3 year time period,
Yeah.
and there's just no quick answer to being successful, is what I'm getting at.
My thing, yeah, and my thing is, and I know people are gonna hate that I say this because this is what they do and it's how they make their money. But I feel like you should just be authentic. Like I don't think you should lie to like drag people into something that they're not gonna make any money. Like people are selling these courses, they're saying do this, do that, and I can make you a millionaire tomorrow. Um, but how can somebody that's not even a millionaire themselves tell you how to be a millionaire?
Yeah.
Like that's my thing. Like, why are y'all buying courses from people who aren't millionaires?
So they can teach you how to take someone else's money, just like they took yours to become a millionaire. Right.
And that's the thing, like that's the game. That's what it is. Like, okay, let me teach you how to become a millionaire. You pay me $500. Okay, I'm becoming a millionaire because I'm taking the money from y'all. So I'm gonna teach you how to scam somebody else.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just that's how that girl, and I don't even want to say her name because I can't even remember to be honest. But that's how that girl started. Like she started selling courses and she became a millionaire from them.
Yeah, and that's like I said, that's what I was getting at. Like you're not if you're on a quest to become successful and you want to start a business, save that money that you're going to spend on that $500, $1,000, or whatever. Save that. Come talk to someone who knows what they're doing. Invest that $500 into something and get some proper advice, because if someone, and in my experience what I've learned is if someone tells me like we can do this and this in 3 months, so to speak, it looks good. If it looks great on paper, it's not going to work out. You just get up, leave, put the money back in your pocket.
And I just don't believe in all of that. Like, if I were to even, because I see that people are starting to say that they're touring themselves out, or um, what is it? I don't even know what the name of it is, but they're saying that they're offering this advice in these classes. My thing is, why would a class cost me three, four, $500 for a 1 day? If I were to do a class and I'm really trying to help people and I'm not trying to snake people or take advantage
Mhm.
of people, why would my class be $500?
Exactly.
Like, that's absurd. I mean, and colleges and things do it all the time. So I think they're taking a page out of the book from college or whatever. But I think it's horrible to try and get over on people like that just to make yourself rich. Because if you want to give information out and you really want to help people, it would be affordable, number one. So
Now, let me ask you this. This, and I know not everybody's gonna like this, but I feel like people should be honest with themselves because not everybody, like I said in the beginning of this, being around you for 10, like during this interview, you can, I know you have a business mind. I feel like you are mentally, like, you can be a leader. I can't. Like, I have great ideals, but I would need someone like you to follow through with those ideals. So I think a lot of people don't, are not real with themselves and figure out, like, hey, okay, do I have great ideals and do I need to find someone that's going to help, or am I a leader and let's put this together? So, like, because what I'm saying is, if you're a follower, you just got good ideals, you should probably just
But people don't want to do that because their ego makes them think they can do anything.
right.
But just like my distributor Katara, she always says, "I'm not built to be a business owner." So she's comfortable under me. And some people just simply like that. Like, they'd rather somebody else take charge and have the responsibility, and they just follow the directions. And there's nothing wrong with that.
That's what I want to hear, and that's
He is, and she
completely okay,
right.
completely
Not
fine.
everybody's a business owner. Like, somebody has to be an employee.
Right.
If everybody in the world was a business owner, who's working?
That's right. And I wanted to get to that and push that point because it's completely okay.
Okay.
It's completely okay. Like I know Instagram and Twitter and like they have a lot of these people believing like if you're not a boss, so to speak, like you're worthless. Like
No.
that's the agenda I feel like is
It's
being
being pushed,
pushed.
but you know why? Why? Because they
'Cause it
make
makes
money. Right.
because it makes other people rich.
Them me.
Right.
And people need to stop pushing that narrative. I cannot stand it. Like, it kills me. Start a business, start a business. Let me get you your LLC, because they're gonna profit off of doing that
Charge you
LLC.
$750 and it costs what all $275.
I think it's like it's $25 or $75 or whatever. To go to your state's website, well, South Carolina anyway,
Yeah,
and fill the registration out and pay the fee, and that's
yeah.
it.
And then do what your articles of incorporation and get your bit. I mean, it's really is simple. Like, it really is simple. So listen, if you're paying $500 and $600 for someone to do it for you, you're getting scammed.
You're getting scammed.
You're getting scammed. I just want to put that. I just want to put it out
And
there.
I hate it. I hate it
And,
because when I do paperwork for anybody, I charge a reasonable fee.
yeah,
Like, I charge a regular consultant fee, $50 for an hour. Whatever I can do for you in that hour is what I do for you in that hour.
and
So
you
if you come to me and you say, "D, I want you to do my LLC paperwork and my retail license," I get right here.
do it. And so like when you know you used to give free consultation advice. You was well. Let me rephrase. I'm gonna back up a little bit. You attempted to give some people. I ain't gonna say, you attempted to give some people free consultation, like in the comment section. Like you and like I was reading information, like damn, that's some. But you literally had someone who is going through the process, but someone else is telling you like, nah, that's not right.
Right. All the time. Even now. And that's why I'm like, I'm weary. Is it weary or leery? I'm kind of leery of giving out information about anything
Shit, both.
because
I'm
people
both. I'm both.
People will literally debate you down about anything. It's just like I won't give formulation advice to anybody.
Mm.
I won't talk too much about like the work and the herbs and stuff that go into my products because somebody has something to say. Somebody has something to debate. I was in a Facebook group last night and a girl asked what could she use to repel cats from her house and I told her to plant lavender. And here comes the oh my god, it's like lavender kills cats. It's poison to cats. Why would you say that? I was like, oh my god, you know what?
It is. It is, man.
It's crazy.
It is. The internet is. I got to say this, man. I got and hey, I'll take this out if you want me to. No, I have to say this. Like I remember you describing, and I can't remember. It wasn't but maybe a few months ago, but I believe it was you. Did you describe the internet as being like how it was? I'll let you describe it. How did you
It's
describe the internet?
like the internet is just this massive place filled with everyone, every personality type, every mental disorder, every physical disorder, everything. We're all in one place. And the reason why we didn't have so much controversy in school is because these people were separated from regular people. You had normal people that had normal classes, and then you had the mentally challenged people that had their own separate sets of classes. Therefore, the intellectual abilities aligned. They align with theirs, and we align with ours. Now we're just all in one
Together.
place called the internet. And it's like, you're not even on my mental level to even understand what I'm trying to convey, but you're arguing with me.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Like you're going back and forth with me. And I tell people all the time, like, I'm the specialist. Like, I'm the one that specializes in this stuff. I'm the one that made this stuff. How can you tell me about what I'm doing?
About your product.
About my product.
About your product. And if they knew what was in your product, they would quit asking for the damn recipe for the
What was in my
product.
product and try to make it themselves, they still couldn't because that's another reason why I don't talk about like the different types of herbs and stuff because I feel like there's so much misinformation out here and it's dangerous. So, and then once they go and they mess something up,
That is
it's my
that
fault.
is your fault.
Right. So
Right.
I don't talk about it. I don't too much tell people about it unless it's something that's really straightforward,
Right.
that they can't possibly mess up.
Yeah. And I
So
think
yeah.
that's a great idea because like you said, there's everyone is able to attend online
Yeah.
internet, and
Everybody attends
and not everyone follows directions
at all.
the same. Um, Real quick before we close out, if someone was wanting to start a successful business today, first place to start.
The first place to start is to first have an idea of what you want to do. So, and I'm not going to say a business plan because I mean, it's a business plan, but when people say business plan, they think, oh, this document, this well written document that states what I want to do, my purpose, how much I want to make, and all that kind of stuff. But no, that's not what it is. Just have a clear cut idea of what you want to do in business. Have a budget for what you want to do, how much you plan to spend initially, what your price point of your product or service is going to be, and work from there. Like, and as far as the paperwork and stuff, you need your business license in South Carolina anyway. And if it's like a retail business, you need a retail license because you have to pay sales tax. So,
There you go. That's the most free game I can get you for today. So listen, proper planning. Again, you heard the word consistency several times and hard work. I'm trying to get like I said, my whole podcast is like I'm trying to help people. Like I made a lot of mistakes when I sit down to start telling what I've been through to get where I'm at. Like I'm not comparing myself to anybody. Like I hope to God that people will take the time to listen. And if there's anything, damn it, you should not have done that like stay, like I want to help. Whether, and I think a lot of, there, there's nothing wrong with accepting your fault. and saying them out loud. But man, when you got to accept them and try to move on, that's when it becomes uh, um, a hard thing to do. So stop getting scammed, man. Stop getting scammed.
And don't get discouraged. Like, get you a good business mentor. That's all I'm gonna say. A good person that's doing good business, that's doing the right thing, that's not overcharging people, that's not taking advantage of people, that actually wants to grow and help others grow. That's who you need in your corner. If you don't have a person like that in your corner, you need to find one.
It's very important. Like I said, listen, as nice as I can put it, if you hang around bums, you're gonna be a bum.
Yeah.
That's just being honest. Find yourself a good mentor, get your plan together, take the time to listen to everything she just laid out for you. There's some real helpful information in there. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. www.naturallydivineproducts.net. Check the website out. Try the products. Follow the damn directions. It'll work. I promise you. D, thanks for sitting down with me today.
Welcome.
Appreciate you giving me your time.